You know what? You know what I bought myself today?
What?
I bought myself this. A mechanical pencil because I love mechanical pencils and I love Japanese stationery because the Japanese make such fucking good stationery that, like, you'd be stupid not to buy it. But this is...
Huh.
Let's do some ASMR, some package opening ASMR.
It's a 0.9 mil one.
It is because... Let me show you. It's for children! It's a little kid's mechanical pencil. It's like a junior mechanical pencil. It's so It's so cute.
Huh.
It's adorable. And yeah, it's 0.9, and the thing is the other one was 1.3. I didn't even know they made lead that thick.
I much prefer thicker ones. They feel really nice to use.
I do. I'm used to using... I have this other one from Pilot. Because Pilot and Campus are both Japanese brands. I swear, isn't there like a Japanese stationery like competition or something? I swear that's a thing.
Oh yeah, they have like basically the Oscars for Japanese stationery. Yeah.
I feel like this is the same thing of that, like, there's a Japanese person that's good at everything. There's so many of them that, like, they can just do everything. But Japanese stationery is so fucking good. I have basically everything in my pencil case is Japanese. Yeah, I'm actually, like, realizing, like, basically half of it. I've got
They just know how to do it.
They do. Pilot.
They have that shit on lock.
Campus. What else do I have? Maybe not those. What are these?
There was one that
Uniball?
I was going to get, but now I... Yeah,
Uniball is
Uniball one.
also Japanese. I've got like 3 of those in here.
Ah,
I've got...
No, hang on. No, here's the one. I just found the wrong one I was gonna get, but
Pentel?
I didn't end up getting it because
I've got these little Pentel colored gel
cheap.
pens. I've got this
I was gonna get the Rot Ring.
The huh?
The Rot Ring. I think it was the Rot Ring 800. It won a bunch of awards, or it was one of the Rot Ring ones. I wanted to get one of those, but they're not cheap because they're full metal.
Right, yeah.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist. One of the reasons I got this is it was like $5.30. It was $5.30. And there was also a pink version. And yeah, there were blue and pink in 0.9 and then also another blue and pink in 1.3. And by the same brand, there's like the adult versions, which come from 0.3 to 1.3. Like all the different sizes. Basically the same thing. Because the thing about this mechanical pencil, usually they have like a little like, you know, pen holder thing. This just looks like a pencil. It's just straight up and down. No little clips or anything.
Right.
So it's just like easy to... Does this screw off? No, it doesn't. But it's really cool, yeah. Like it doesn't have any... And you can't take anything apart. So like for kids, there's no like choking hazards because you just put it straight in the top. It doesn't fall out either. It just... Magic. How...
I'm usually on a budget when it comes to my stationery, so...
Yeah.
I just live off the cheap ass Muji pens that are
the Muji
really
pens,
fucking nice for
they're
the price.
so good. But
they're like $3.
I swear,
and
yeah.
They're like the best fucking pens on the planet.
And Muji's Japanese. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
They just like the Japanese just have it on lock.
They do.
Like that scene from Back to the Future 3.
Haven't seen it. I'm sorry.
The 1955 doc. He is like inspecting the DeLorean, and he sees a part, and it says "Made in Japan," and he's like, "Oh, well, here's your problem, Marty. It says "Made in Japan," and then Marty's like, "Well, what are you talking about, Doc? All the best stuff's made in Japan."
And what does he say?
He just gives an incredulous look, because it is a joke about the economic downturn of Japan after the end of World War II, and then the subsequent economic boom of Japan in the late 1970s and early 80s.
Right, yeah. That's funny. I like that. That's crazy. But
this is the longest goddamned cold open we've ever done. We need to end it now.
Go! Take to the intro!
The purpose of this podcast is just a rant about the stuff that we like. So, if that doesn't sound like your cup of tea, this show probably isn't for you. This podcast is recorded on Gadigal and Bidjigal land, and also contains a fair amount of explicit language. We are Australian after all.
If I let you in on this, you've got to promise to keep it on the down low. The less people know about this, the better.
Yeah, call it lazy, I just create what is in my mind. I use the same breaks in my beats sometimes. Wanna decorate my office, so I bought some fake lavenders and speakers, bumping kaiju on the highway to Los Angeles. Never try to hide you from my life if you can handle it. You know I try to find you in the dark, which is a candlestick. The fellows of my heart always encase of metal shackles. When I look into your eyes, you're like Wonderland and Alice.
Shit, if we can avoid incendiary incidents in real life, then we never have to do anything ever again.
How does that work in the real world?
Hi, everyone.
Hey, everyone.
Welcome to Stuff We're Excited About. It's a
Woo!
podcast about stuff we're excited about. And my name is Finley.
And my name is Cloud. And this week, I have a new movie that I watched to talk about.
Uh-huh.
I already told you about this, but I wanted to talk about it more on here. So,
Right.
I finally got around to watching Sinners. I watched it
Uh-huh.
the night before last night. So on Friday.
Temporally, it matters not. Because
Yeah.
this is being beamed into the future. So it does not matter one iota.
For you guys, it's last Friday. Last Friday night, I watched Sinners, and it was really good, but also I knew it was going to be a vampire movie, but the fact that they just like said, oh my god, they're vampires, get the garlic, I was like, they're just saying it. Like, I feel like a lot of movies nowadays kind of circumnavigate that and be like, oh, they're other creatures, or they don't follow the typical like vampire lore, or they like come up with their own
Right.
version of it.
Yeah.
Which I feel like we've seen like a lot recently. So I still don't know if I like it or I don't. The fact that they were just like, oh, they're vampires. Their weaknesses are holy water, garlic, wooden stakes, and sunlight. And like, it was just bam, 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 like all the typical vampire facts. So that was really interesting. I will say one thing that I found crazy is that literally every single piece of music in that is iconic. Like, I knew every single song because it had been played
Good
somewhere
soundtrack.
else because like people just listen to all of the songs. Like, it's
Let's see.
it's insane. It's so
I
good.
actually haven't.
Remick, the song that Remick
haven't-
sings, well, both of them actually. Picked Poor Robin Clean, that's been stuck in my head. And then the one about the Irish song, those two have also been stuck in my head. They're so good. But oh my god, you haven't seen it, have you?
I have not quite yet.
I
I'll get around to it
definitely
at some
recommend it
point.
because it's like the music for one, every single piece of music is like really good. Especially because it's in the intro they talk about this isn't really spoilers, but not really. Like, in the introduction they talk about how there used to be like legends and tales from different cultures and countries around the world about these creatures that had such a connection to music and could make music so pure and so like straight from the soul, and it was so good, but oftentimes it was also evil. And so having that connection between kind of like, remember when we were having that conversation about how people used to believe that Paganini sold his soul to the devil so he could play the violin? It felt kind of like that, of like, there's some people who have so much skill and passion and they put so much of themselves into their music that it almost seems unnatural and like not necessarily evil, but yeah, they were like, it's almost evil. And there was this one sequence around that, and it was so beautiful. People who have watched it will know what I'm talking about. The sequence in the barn, gorgeous sequence, and it felt so odd to see it in person, but it also felt so natural. So when you watch it, you'll get to that scene and you'll know what I'm talking about. But I've got very mixed feelings about this. Like, I get why it's popular and it's a good movie, but just the way they went around the whole vampire thing, I'm like a bit like shocked. because they literally.
Well,
just-
yeah. I mean, like, why bother tiptoeing around it? Everybody knows
Exactly.
what vampires are, so just get straight to the point.
Yeah, and so like I didn't expect this movie to say it like that. When I was hearing people talk about it, no one actually like mentioned the word vampire, or you don't see like memes talking about, oh, if I gave Remick garlic bread, he would like, you know how you see like memes about movies you haven't seen mentioning, like AUs and stuff, or like those silly like cartoons that people draw.
Yeah.
In stuff like that, I didn't see anything talk about like the typical vampire lore. So I wasn't expecting it to be so like
Upfront.
with it. So like great storytelling. You can definitely tell that I'm fairly certain the director that made this got a lot of like cultural advisors, because it's set in the 30s in the Jim
Well,
Crow.
it's Ryan Coogler. I know you would have heard my typing just then. I was looking up who directed it. I already knew that it was Ryan Coogler. I was just confirming that because I tend to say a lot of stuff on this show that is completely unsubstantiated. But yes, it is Ryan Coogler. He's like he's the premier like black director. He's the guy who makes the films about black people for black people.
And this is
which
one
is
of
like-
them. And
yeah.
you can tell that he really put a lot of effort into getting all these different getting all the culture that is reflective of what it actually was. But like the contrast of then just chuck vampires in there. I was like, I thought they would focus more on the cultural aspect and kind of intertwine the vampire story a bit more. I'm really just kind of
yeah, but like why bother?
I guess.
Because the novelty is that it's vampires in a setting where you would never ever see vampires otherwise.
Yeah, true.
And weaving them into that setting lessens that impact. So it's the juxtaposition of the vampires in the setting
I guess, yeah.
that provides that. It's the contrast.
I guess it was
So
probably
that's why it's so interesting.
I guess it was probably just because no one's really done that in a while of just like name dropping them. And there was literally a scene where they're like getting ready to fight them, and this one of the characters, she's like, "We need garlic. We need wooden stakes," and there's like the sequence of everyone like getting garlic together and getting the stakes from the furniture, and But there was also one thing that was also really interesting was the inclusion of, I guess, like voodoo magic, I'm gonna say, because that definitely did have like a really big impact. And I guess if I'm gonna say like in that universe, yes, vampires are also real, but I think this other kind of like magical or spiritual system is also real. And so seeing those interact with each other was also really interesting. Seeing as like this is the cultural background of these people. Obviously they're gonna try and fight this supernatural entity with some of their own cultural knowledge. And so seeing that was really interesting and seeing how it worked together. I really did enjoy that. And I know that there were definitely lots of cultural advisors in that aspect, and you could really tell like it was nice to see that. Yeah.
So I assume it's meant to be an allegory for colonization.
Yeah. And also because
you can't, I mean, it's like, yeah, it's pretty straightforward, but
and,
like
also because Remick's character is Irish, and so he talks about because Ireland was also oppressed by
the English.
by the English and everything, and they've had just as much of a dark and tragic history as enslaved people were all over the world. And so seeing these two cultures,
okay, be careful there, because like don't want to compare sufferings of people. That's a pretty heavy topic.
No, I'm not.
Like,
but in the movie, Remick's like, we know what it's like for these white people to come and impose their religion on us. Like that's what he says in the movie.
Yeah.
So seeing that was like, it's really interesting how you've got one evil trying to convince these people with facts that they like with experiences that these other people also relate to. It's kind of like weird how, you know, he's the bad guy, but like you relate to him. Like these people would relate to him. So it was also really interesting to see that.
Yeah.
To see that. I really liked Remek's character.
I really hope.
Even though he was the bad guy, I really liked him.
I really hope at some point someone, an Aboriginal filmmaker, does something similar.
Oh, that would be so cool.
I mean, you wouldn't even really have to do a very different time period. You could do it in a fairly similar time period.
Yeah, definitely.
In an Aboriginal community with some, it would, I mean,
it was
doing it with Aboriginal folklore would probably not work terribly well, since a lot of it is like, you know, it's not evil. A lot of it is just like, this is the land that we live on, and these are animals, and they behave the way that they do because of this and this and this.
Yeah.
But like,
I mean, I'm sure there are.
I think introducing vampires instead of using some, like, I don't know, Native American thing or African folklore and culture, stuff like that, mythology, I think is a really good. That's a good move, because vampires are a very European mythology.
Yeah, like sure, there are other cultures that have their like kind of reflective is reflective the word? No. Respective versions. Reflective. But when I think of vampires, I think of like Victorian era.
Europe.
And how the fact that he used to put like bricks in people's mouths to stop them from coming back as vampires or whatever. Like it's like bricks in the mouths of dead people when they buried them. So that would be really cool, yeah.
I think, do you know what? They need to get, Marvel needs to get an Aboriginal filmmaker to do a TV show or a miniseries.
Oh, that would be really cool.
There is at least one Aboriginal mutant.
Yes. Yeah, there is in...
I don't remember his name. Eden Fessy, Manifold.
That would be really cool.
They should do a miniseries about Manifold.
But
get into that sort of that sort of tone and mood and stuff, because they could do a ton of cool stuff.
They could do so much cool stuff, because I feel like even within Australian culture, like day to day, a lot of people don't know a lot about Aboriginal culture. Like within Australians, I'm not surprised that other people around the world don't, but I find it weird that I assume that I'm more I know more about like Native American culture than Aboriginal culture, and I live in the country that like I feel like I'm seeing so much more,
spreading it, proliferating it through a piece of popular media could be.
Yeah, so
really
I feel
cool.
like it would be really eye-opening for so many people, and it would be so educative to get more out about Aboriginal culture, because it's so rich and there's so much to it that, you know, so little people know about. And
I mean, Marvel has already established that in the MCU that afterlives are and like mythologies and stuff they're all real.
Oh yeah.
But they are culture specific. So every culture, all of them exist, like coexist. So
that's
doing stuff with like integrating the dreaming into
it would be so cool, because like
that would be.
I can't think.
I mean, you would have to tread carefully,
very
and make sure
carefully.
it's done tastefully. Make sure it's done tastefully is the number one thing. But it could be really cool.
Again, I'm sure there's so many Indigenous people that would be willing to work with filmmakers to get truth. There's so many people.
Yeah.
They would be more than willing to help out and get, you know, the truth across and make sure that all the details are right. Because, like, nothing's been... I'm not going to say nothing, but not a lot of... like
Virtually
nothing. Virtually nothing has been made on Aboriginal, like, mythology and folklore and things like that. So, definitely a new market to look into. That's what I'm saying for filmmakers. Get on that.
Speaking of Marvel...
Speaking of Marvel,
there's some pretty big news that I would like to share with you. I told you yesterday to stay off the internet so that I could break this to you, so I could have your live reaction to this. But there has been a new casting announcement for Spider-Man Brand New Day.
I may have seen a few things on this, but I'm holy fucking shit.
John Bernthal will be returning as Frank Castle in Spider-Man Brand New Day.
What? We're gonna get more of it in Daredevil and now also Spider-Man? Are you kidding me? And we're gonna get Holland and John together. They've worked together before, and the fact that they are partially responsible for each other getting the role. Partially responsible for Tom getting Spider-Man. Like, they recorded the auditions on the set of. Oh, I love the movie what's that movie called? The Pilgrimage. I love The Pilgrimage. Great movie. They worked together on that. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. And also just like Punisher and Spider-Man, I wouldn't have expected that. Like, where is this?
Well, I think they've done quite a bit of stuff in the comics together.
Yeah, I feel like those two characters have like kind of interacted with everyone in the MCU and not in the comics and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's talked to everyone, but we've never seen this in the MCU. We've never seen this crossover. Like, we've seen. Oh, well, I guess it makes sense. We've seen Matt and Peter, but now we're seeing Frank and Peter, which I guess also doesn't. Yeah, like it's all New York. New York. Oh my god.
I do really like that Spider-Man is really starting to interact with that street level.
Yeah, it's
kind of that world. All
The
those characters.
nitty-gritty of like New York, like street life, and I love it so much. I think, I mean, obviously you can relate more to like neighborhood superheroes than like these like galactic figures and stuff. But I love all the, the Defenders, love that. Even, I know people are like, oh, it was so bad. I don't care. It was cool seeing like these everyday people who happen to have like powers and abilities, doing what they can for their community. I love that stuff. It's so cool. So...
Speaking of the Defenders,
yeah?
do you know what they should do?
What?
For Shang-Chi 2?
What?
They should call it Shang-Chi and Iron Fist. Same sort of thing that they did with like Deadpool and Wolverine.
That
and
would
have
be cool.
that's how they introduce Lin-Lia to take over the mantle from Danny.
That would be cool, yeah.
I don't know how much those characters interact in the comics.
I was about to say the exact same thing.
They are both Chinese martial artists.
I feel like they probably should have or would have at some point.
The setting of anything there would lend itself to that.
Yeah.
I just want Lin-Lia as Iron Fist in the MCU because he's a way fucking better Iron Fist than Danny Rand. I'm sorry, Danny.
That's so fair. Because, like, I agree with people who were like, I hated Danny Rand as Iron Fist. I hated the live-action Iron Fist series. I don't fucking, like, there's so many series where, like, I hate this movie, I hate this. I don't care. I like watching stuff about characters. Like, let me enjoy this. Like, piss off, guys. I couldn't give two shits that it's weird. I'm just enjoying the fact that I get to watch more stuff. Honestly. There's sometimes I'm just gonna turn a blind eye.
Punisher is not the only other Marvel superhero that is appearing in Brand New Day that has already been announced. I don't remember whether we discussed it actually on the show, and I don't know whether you know, but Bruce Banner will be appearing in Brand New Day.
I did not know that at all.
I think it's mostly just because they want to do the whole... Because there's that page from the comics where after One More Day, when everyone forgets Peter's identity, he's talking to the Hulk, and Hulk is like, "Oh, hey, Peter," and he's like, "Wait, what the fuck? How do you know?
How
who
do
I
you
am?"
know me?
And
What the fuck?
Hulk's like, "Banner forget, Hulk not forget." So they could do the exact same thing, basically.
I love it.
I mean, I don't know what the fuck they're doing with the Hulk currently, in the MCU. He's in
I was
such
about
a
to say
weird
that.
spot.
I was about to say, where's the last we
like-
saw Bruce? Because I don't remember, but
Last we saw Bruce,
Was
he
in-
was still Smart Hulk. He was
in
introducing
She-Hulk.
Scar, his son, to Jen's family. And Matt was also there.
What the fuck? But this will be really interesting. I feel like it makes sense because like Banner's had a lot of he's like talked to Strange and stuff. So if like the whole forgetting thing and does Steven remember? Does Steven remember Peter?
Peter's identity?
Yeah.
No.
No one at all.
No one
Apart
remembers.
from Hulk.
I mean,
apparently,
as far
but-
as we know, like Kevin Feige explicitly said after that film came out, one person remembers, and we're not gonna tell you who it is.
Oh,
So-
okay. So there is. Oh,
At that was the point everyone said, "Oh, it's the Hulk," because they had this page in the comics where
What the
that exact thing happens. So yeah, I
That's
mean,
so great.
I guess we'll see.
I love that. That
I'm so excited for Brand New Day. I think
that
they start
sounds-
shooting in August.
Oh, hurry up already!
Not long. It's like two months until they start shooting. It'll probably be like a 5-6 month shoot, and then they'll edit it, and it'll be out this time next year. It's not going to be long.
That's about the turnaround. I always wondered when I was younger and I didn't know how the film industry worked. I always wondered about like time turnarounds of like when they start filming to when it gets released. I didn't understand that. I was like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? Why are they so much older now? Why are they saying like 2 years ago? Didn't they just finish filming it and it came out? Like, I didn't understand that, and so it was really funny
You thought they filmed it right before it came out?
I don't know. How was I supposed to know? I didn't know. Like, I had
Yeah,
no.
I mean, I always
concept
wondered
of-
about that sort of thing as well, because like, I mean, a lot of the stuff that I watched when I was a child was much older. So I was thinking like, well, this came out in this year, so if this person this old when it came out, how old were they when they filmed it?
Right.
Yeah.
Because I like a year turnaround for a big project like that makes sense, but I think it was always when it was like more than a year, because like now we're talking about there are some movies where it's like, oh yeah, we filmed that like 2 years ago. Like they're at the premiere, the movies come out and they're like, oh yeah, that was 2 years ago. I barely remember what happened. That when I learned about that, I was like, 2 years? Like what are they doing? And then you find out about
That's usually on projects that have like a very tight-knit editing team.
yeah.
Like 3-4 people, sometimes as few as 1 or 2
Yeah.
working on the film.
And also like,
Um,
reshoots
It takes
and
a long time.
and there's like, legal problems of like licensing and things. And so when I found out about that, I was like, oh, that makes sense. It's not like, because I kind of put it as it takes a year to make a movie. Okay. But no, it can take so much longer.
It takes I mean,
Well,
like on average.
on average,
it
it's a
takes
good.
a year to make a movie from beginning of principal photography to release.
Yeah.
The
On
amount
average.
of pre-production that goes into these films is
Mhm.
absolutely fucking unbelievable. Like, they have probably been in pre-production on Brand New Day since
so
No Way Home
Oh,
came
yeah.
out
and
in 2021.
especially because of big projects like this where so many things link up, they're probably always in pre-production. They're probably in pre-production for things that haven't even been announced yet. Like I bet.
Oh yeah.
Like definitely, because with so many projects coming out and all of them, so much connection between them and they're all intertwining between each other's and so many of the same actors and the same universe. I feel like with Marvel, of course, they're always going to be in pre-production for a million things.
It must be a fucking nightmare for the line producers, dude.
I can't even imagine.
I feel so sorry for the line producers, especially. I mean, all of the pre-production stuff. Pre-production is the worst part.
The bane of my
production.
existence.
I
You spent
fucking hate
you
pre-production,
probably
dude.
with the 2 films that we did, we spent more time in pre-production than actually shooting. And if you,
Well, that was
but the thing is, if you
that
do,
was the good thing
Hmm?
about that. That was the good thing about that shoot that I was telling you about. I mean, it was a good thing, but it was also a really, really, really horrible thing.
oh,
Is that because of the shoot schedule at Randwick, the only available time for us to shoot was one Monday morning the next week.
Yeah, right.
And we would not be able to shoot again for the rest of the semester.
Mm.
So it was either push it through pre-production and shoot it next week, or don't shoot it at all. So that's what we did.
Because one thing we learned is that if you do pre-production well and you well and truly plan everything out, shooting should be breeze. It should be. Because there were so many things that that would happen while we were shooting. We were like, why wasn't this thought about before? Like, this should have been done before. Why hadn't you thought about all these, like scheduling issues and issues with set and location and all these things? And you never, every time you always remember new things that you have to plan. There's always things of like, okay, next time pre-production we'll remember to do this. But then even then there's always going to be stuff that you're like, fuck, we forgot to do that.
And then you never remember.
You never remember, or you do it wrong, or you don't do enough. But pre-production, if done well, should make your life so much easiir.
It's just contingency after contingency after contingency.
Yes.
Just like planning in redundancy
Yeah.
and fail-safes and idiot-proof mechanisms.
You need like a plan F, not
Yeah.
A, B, and C. F. Go all the way to F, all the way.
Bro, plan S. Plan
Yeah,
Y.
you may as well.
Plan Z. You need them all.
Everything.
You need 26 plans. Yeah.
But yeah, I can't imagine for us, 21 people doing a 10-minute film, 7 really, and it was difficult then. I can't imagine the fucking shit they must be going through. Like one of the biggest franchises in the world, and billions of dollars. Oh, I'm
Many hands
getting
make
sick
light
thinking about it.
work.
I guess.
But also too many cooks spoil the stew. So
How many is enough?
you gotta strike a balance somewhere.
Yeah. Kick some people out of the kitchen. But
I think on that note,
yes.
that might be just about all we have time for.
Damn, really? That was quick. Yeah, true, that's all we've got.
You said like you had something else to say.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that 28 Years Later came out and it looks really good.
Oh yeah.
I wanna watch it.
Yeah. I still have not seen 28 Days. I have it on my watch
same.
list. I'm planning
Same here.
in the semester break.
Yes, that's exactly-
6 weeks. I'm planning to watch one film every night.
Oh my god.
I missed my film last night because I was at your show.
At my performance. Because you guys remember
I'm
I'm an
going to
actor,
watch-
but
I'm going to watch Forrest Gump tonight.
ooh.
I've never seen it.
My mama
It's just
said
it was a blind spot.
life
it
is
was a blind
like a
spot for me. I
box
just,
of chocolates. I love the way he talks.
Okay.
I also want to watch 28 Weeks Later. I want to watch like the whole trilogy basically before, because I'm also in my break, so I can watch lots of movies now.
I add like whole trilogies to my watch list, but then I have my spinner thing that randomly chooses a movie for me. But I only have the first one from the franchise on the spinner.
Oh, so
and then once I watch that, I delete it and then add the next one.
Right. Okay. You don't do the whole 3 at once?
Smart thinking.
I would do
No, of course. Why would I do that?
Because if you're watching something like The Lord of the Rings or something, you'd go all 3 at once.
But I've seen Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, but as an example. Or Anyway, that's all we have time for.
Anyway.
Go check out the Kickstarter.
The Kickstarter, I'm gonna put the link in the episode description again. I put it in last week. I'm gonna put it in again. I'm gonna have a lot more films to talk about on the show, hopefully I will have 7 films to talk about
by
next week.
Oh Jesus, I gotta catch up.
If I don't miss one, but
I'm gonna watch series, not movies, because I have lots of series to catch up on.
Yeah, like one that starts with D and W.
And A.
A? What? A? I don't know what you're talking about.
I haven't finished Andor.
Oh. Wow.
Okay.
You still haven't finished Andor,
I'll do
huh?
it tonight. I'll do it. I don't want to cry.
You better.
I don't want to cry because I know how it ends.
Oh, you will. Oh, you will. Oh, you will.
That's why I put off watching.
Even I did, dude.
I put off watching so many series because I know how they're going to end. If it's popular and I know how it ends, I'm not going to watch the last 2 episodes for like 3 months. That's what I did with Supernatural.
Finish it.
Okay.
We need to end the show.
Okay,
That applies
bye.
to the show as well.
Yes.
Finish it.
Finish.
Thanks to 2K Doppler, aka OK Kirk, for the use of our theme song, Breeze of the Album Brooks Brain Dump. That's also in the episode description.
Yes.
You can find it there, as well as the Kickstarter.
Ooh.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks, everyone.
Come back
Bye-bye.
next week. Bye. Goodbye.
Shit, if we can avoid incendiary incidents in real life, then we never have to do anything ever again.
How does that work in the real world?